Welcome back everyone to another edition of Figures from the Attic. Today we're back with another figure unboxing and review, but a little bit different this time. More often than not I'm doing action figure reviews of wrestling characters. Today I'm doing a Dragon Ball Z character, another one of my favorite fandoms. I've been a huge Dragon Ball fan my whole life, dating back to the, I would say, mid-90s. My cousin would show me the show, and it was back in when I was on vacation in Chile, because part of my family's from the country of Chile down in South America. So I would spend a lot of time down in Chile during the summers, and he loved Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball was huge down there, as it is here. So I grew up with kind of the Spanish dubbed version of Dragon Ball, and I've been a fan ever since. But Cell has always been my favorite big bad villain, whatever you want to call it. I just always loved his demeanor, his look, how towering he was. You know, he wasn't small like Frieza, although Frieza was super powerful, but he was more powerful because technically he came later, and the Goku needed to power up even more to defeat him with Gohan. But that's neither here nor there. Long story short, he's been one of my favorite characters in Dragon Ball Z, and I'm glad to finally have his action figure. So let's get this opened up. He does have these wings in the back. Let's see how they pop on. One of them fell off. There we go. They pop on very easily. Now, I do have a Dragon Ball Z shelf right over here that I recently started putting together. All the Dragon Ball Z action figures that I have now, all the modern ones, because I grew up with a lot of like the bootleg ones that I would get down in South America. But now that I'm more of an adult figure collector, I've been getting, I think it's called SH Arts. I think that's the name of the, or SH Fig. It's like the premier brand for Dragon Ball Z action figures. Definitely, they look the best, they have the best articulation, but I haven't been able to find Cell in that brand or in that line. So I went ahead and just picked up this one by Bandai. What was the name of it? Dragon Stars. Dragon Stars. So it's not the same series that I've been collecting, but just looking at him, I think it'll suffice. The one thing that kind of bugs me a little bit is the pegs here on the shoulders. It kind of takes away. I would much prefer it if it was just like one solid piece without those little pegs for articulation. That's a small complaint, but it is noticeable. It's definitely noticeable. Whereas the ones that I have in my collection don't have any visible things like that. You also do get pegs here in the elbows, but that's not as noticeable. You also get them on the legs, on the knees. So yeah, again, this isn't as premium a figure as is out there. There are more premium figures available, but I don't know that there is one of Cell yet. I don't think they've made one. But if they do, and if I find one, I might pick it up. But this is a good placeholder, and it may end up being a permanent version of Cell in my collection. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Time will tell. But yes, I absolutely love the big, tall, green, what do you want to call it, crown. Love those piercing, menacing red eyes. The purple in the back. You get the gear, like the shoulder pads going there on the front. You get those two big wings. You get this, he squirts stuff out of there. I don't know what you would call it, like an antenna, I guess. This kind of comes out. That's where he eats people when he's not the final form. To get to the final form, he uses that to eat his opponents, and that's how he gains more power, if you didn't know about that. But you do get the purple kind of underneath the green, what would you call it, like an exoskeleton, I guess. You get like the purple skin underneath, and then you get the exoskeleton in green on top. But he looks very powerful. I think he's going to tower over a lot of my figures in Dragon Ball Z right here. And that makes sense because in the show, he was very tall. So it makes sense that he would tower over them. But it's got great articulation. The arms move very well. This is actually my first, what was it called? Dragon series. Dragon Stars. It's my first figure from this Dragon Stars line by Bandai. And I'm pretty thoroughly impressed. It does move very well. Very easy. Like if I was still playing with my toys, I think this would be one that I would gravitate towards because he's very easy to move, not loose. He's on there good. The joints aren't loose, but you can move them very easily. So yeah, the legs move back and forth very well. I can definitely, as a kid, I can definitely see myself having a lot of epic battles with this Cell. If only I had this when I was younger. That would have been awesome. But for now, it'll just sit in my display case. And I can enjoy looking at him whenever I cross by into my office every day. As a score out of 10, I would give this cell by Bandai, I would say an 8.1 out of 10. 8.1 out of 10 for Final Form Cell. As always, I appreciate you watching and stay tuned for more.